Hello friends, near and far, dear to my heart, I'm Victoria with Aligned Soul Tarot. This reading will be for Capricorn and all Capricorn placements found within your birth chart or wherever you have 10th house influence in your chart. If you are new to these placements, just know that I offer personalized birth chart and relationship chart readings. You can find all my services on my website link below. All those readings come with a full 2-question tarot spread, and I have some transit readings. I like to intertwine astrology with tarot, and I have some upcoming specials for October, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to be posting some new style readings on my website, so make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all the things to stay up to date. And pardon my voice, I have allergies right now. It's changing of the tides here, the seasons, and this gal's losing her voice, so you're going to have to give me some strength, Capricorn. I need your strength, Pluto and Capricorn. Anyway, back to what I was saying. We do have a 10% off special this month. I have limited spots available. I'm only running the 10% till the end of September. But if you join me on Patreon, you get access to not only the Love Extended readings every month. I have a lunar eclipse. Again, happy lunar eclipse. Today's the day. And tomorrow. Well, tonight technically is the actual lunar eclipse. Let's get serious here, okay, Cappy? But on Patreon, I have that pick-a-pile reading. I go really deep into the wisdom of Saturn, what it's bringing, the karma that's coming up, what does Saturn mean in Pisces, what is this eclipse bringing us, all that good stuff. So check out my Patreon, and you get 20% off there all the time as a Patreon member. And this reading, Capricorn, we're going to dive into, of course, this partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. You know, this is the highlight, the trickle effect, as I like to say. And the eclipse is a time marker, so it's important to look back at April. That was our last eclipse that we had. And it kind of set the tone for this Aries North Node that we are still in currently. I also have a North and South Node series, which is linked below. You'll be able to find all the links for the love reading as well for this month, my Patreon, all that good stuff below, and whatever sorts of songs that might come up, or affirmations, or just guidance that I get during your reading. We are still in Virgo season, a fellow earth sign of yours, so this is a positive shift, I'd say, especially Pluto and Capricorn for you. Virgo is the house of purification, so we not only have this Piscean influence of surrender, it's the house of rest, it's also hidden enemies. You know, it can talk a lot around karma, past lives, all that good stuff. Again, the pick-a-pal reading on Patreon goes a bit deeper. And also I have a Saturn and Pisces reading that I did when it first went into Pisces about 1.5 years ago now. It's been a while. We've been feeling this energy for a bit here, but this eclipse is really highlighting it with a little more oomph in its power here. But there's like this power in Pisces, in the surrender, in the stillness. It's like this Jedi pause that I like to quote a lot, you know, with any retrograde, especially Mercury retrograde. It's the Jedi pause, as I like to say, this kind of shifty energy, reading between the lines. We're going to talk about what this means for you. Let's get into it. Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your reading. Whenever you find this reading, just know it's meant to find you. I know I timestamp it September, but really, astrology and tarot is an evolutionary process. And when you're meant to find this message, just know it's meant to find you, okay? Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Cross watchers, of course, you are welcome here. You place the roses you see fit. And if you want to check out that love reading, again, it's below, as well as all of my other services. And stay tuned. I'm going to be finishing up that North and South Node series here this week, as well as all of the rest of September's messages. And then on Patreon, I'm going to be doing another post-eclipse for September reading. And of course, we have October to look forward to with this Libra solar eclipse. What does this Libra energy mean for you right now? We have Libra and Venus. This is in your 10th house. And really, I got so many messages for you around just this very reminiscent, nostalgic, kind of Six of Cups vibe. You might have Scorpio in your chart, Venus in Scorpio to be precise, or just any Scorpio. Or this is just really talking about, again, this Pluto and Capricorn. It's a bittersweet kind of feeling for you, Capricorn, I feel. And for you Gen Z people out there, you know, I want you to reflect on 2008 if you can recall it. I know all of you are different ages. And again, this is a general reading, but if you can think back to 2008, this was the last time that we had a substantial amount of time with this Pluto in Capricorn. And of course, we've been feeling into this since June of 2023. And then, of course, retrograde, back and forth with Aquarius, doing this dance back and forth. And then finally, November 19th, we say goodbye to Pluto in Capricorn. So it's a bittersweet feeling, I think, for you. And that's where you're kind of reminiscing with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Pisces is very dreamy. It's very ethereal. It's Neptune. And I wanted to actually read from this before we go into your messages. This is Astrology, Karma, and Transformation, one of the best books I've ever gotten. To be honest with you, I do a lot of audibles because I'm a busy gal. But this is actually one book that I sat down and I read. Not all the way through, but most of the way. I'll be honest with you. But I always go back to it. And I have a couple books. I have at least 10 tarot astrology books. But this one is one that I always go back to. So if you're looking for a good addition to your collection, for all you enthusiasts out there, check it out. This is a lot around the subconscious planets, which are the outer planets. Saturn, we're really feeling into Saturn right now. Again, this lunar eclipse is right there. The moon in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, they're going hand in hand. They're dancing through the tests of time, I saw this really cool Instagram post where it was a door opening and there was this huge clock and it reminded me of Saturn, Chronos, time. And for you and most of the collective, this is a place of rest, 12th house, and it can feel restless, if we're not used to resting. It's almost like a skill to rest, it feels nowadays. And that's sad to say that, but it's true. Especially you, Capricorn. You are Saturn. It's your governing planet, 10th house of achievements. You're a go-getter, you're an achiever, you're the provider, you represent the father of the astrology wheel, whether you're male or female. It's a very protective, a bit restrictive, right? And we'll talk more about that kind of square off we're feeling with Jupiter and Gemini, but let's talk about the book first before I get carried away. This Pisces influence for me, I have a ton of 12th house in my chart and my midheaven's Pisces, and I just feel carried away. I'm not sick, by the way. I wouldn't be doing readings sick, but I definitely have allergies. My throat's just like, But I just felt like I had to take advantage of this energy. And I got to get these readings out to you. It's an eclipse. This is a great day to do a reading, right? So let's talk about Pluto, okay? Again, Gen Z generation, reflect on 2008, and we'll go into this more after I recite some of this to you, because this is profound. It talks about also Pluto and Neptune. Again, Pisces, Neptune. So this is very influential for us. Pluto can be said, in one sense at least, to symbolize the seed falling into the humus made of the dissolved and chemicalized remains of the ending cycle of annual vegetation, the product of Neptunian processes of dissolution. It can be related also to the descent to hell by Christ before his resurrection, as Pluto therefore cuts into Neptune's orbit, a process of release from the past and of impregnation by a nucleated vision of the future can symbolically be said to occur. Indeed, such a period in every revolution of Pluto around the sun is, historically speaking, unusually significant. These periods often witness a repolarization of the collective unconscious and the ideals of mankind along lines which, in one way or another, stress factors deeply rooted in human nature and thus common to a large section of mankind. So this is like a revolutionary act, right? Especially, as we dance out of your sign and dance right into Aquarius again, the age of Aquarius, as most people say, it's revolutionary. And not to say that we can't give credit to Pluto and Capricorn. It's served us to some extent, right? Just like every sign has its light and its dark, and we're witnessing this polarity. especially Pisces. Pisces is all encompassing. So this lunar eclipse for you specifically, is in your third house, a Gemini. Okay. So when I think of this and I wrap this all up in a big old bundle for you, you're learning how to express yourself in a new way as we go into Pluto and Aquarius. And you're also remembering, you're reminiscing about the memories of what it feels like to transform and recreate yourself and to break away from the limitations and restrictions that can confine you at times, Capricorn. Because again, that's a shadow. Like I was just saying, every sign has one. Every person walking on planet Earth. We do not live in a utopian world. We can create our reality to some extent, but we have to realize this physical reality and the human suffering that sometimes, I would say Pisces shadow is that they want to turn a blind eye and live in a haze, or become like delusional, or substance abuse, that kind of thing. So there is this very grounded approach that you're bringing into this atmosphere with your quick little brief poke at it, each sign. Every sign, I've been talking about this, and I was excited to do your reading because it's actually in your sign. It's like, you know, Pluto and Capricorn's like, hey, do you remember what happened back then? You know, 2008 or like 2023? Do you remember what you were trying to do and you never did it? Capricorn's like, get to it, you know? Venus in the 10th house, you also could be reminiscing on old relationships, thinking about old relationships, and you could even be in a relationship and still think about past. Again, also Pisces, it can bring up karma, past lives. And I really want all the signs, not even just because I'm doing readings on the North and South Node readings, but just look into your natal placements, especially your North and South Node, your natal Saturn placement, and also your Chiron, okay? There's just this highly influential time to heal some of the things around the past, especially those placements in your chart, okay? So Saturn in the third house, it's a very expressive place. It's very curious as well. So it's advising you to stay curious about what Pluto and Aquarius is going to bring for you. And we'll dive into that when we get there again in November. But I got a lot of words around, you know, collection, like oldies. I saw like a vinyl. You could be listening to vinyl. You could collect vinyl. You could really like to collect old things. You could like to tinker with old gadgets. Like I just saw like a vintage shop kind of vibe. And then I saw, I wrote down these words, collection, like you could collect things. You could be a collector of some sort. You could be reciting lyrics to old songs that feel very nostalgic at this time. Or again, these messages could be something that you are being advised to do. Or again, it might not resonate at all. And then I heard when the time is right, okay? And the essence. Yeah, I just get words sometimes. So the essence of something. So maybe as you're reminiscing on something, this could be anything. This could be family, friends, just past in general. And past doesn't have to be years ago. It could just be last week, right? For some of you. But there's something about reflection, deep pondering, and it doesn't feel sad or somber. There might be a tint of melancholy, which of course Capricorn, the Capricorns I know, you're very stoic, but you have this humor too, and it's pretty dark. It can be really like rigid, you know, Saturn type of humor, where it's like anti-humor almost. And I love that about you, Capricorn. But it's very stoic, you know. Saturn has this kind of somber melancholy to it, but at the same essence, it's such deep, profound meaning there. I love Saturn, you know, and a lot of people grow to hate it, but I've grown to love it. It sat me down a couple times and said, hey, you know, you gotta really look at this. So you could be looking at old photos, that kind of thing. We have this Virgo influence still, and again, Virgo is a fellow earth sign, so any earth months for you are gonna feel a bit more benefic. Especially with Pluto and Capricorn, I think, for you, but it could be a bit bittersweet. I'm going to probably write that in your title somewhere, bittersweet. I've been getting this word. I got this word for someone else too. But there's been a lot around like patience, timing, like, you know, in the Pisces eclipse reading I did on Patreon. It was a lot about sitting with our loneliness, you know, being a bit isolated or feeling isolated. And this is this kind of Pisces Neptunian vibe. It's asking us to kind of slow down. Again, it's the house of rest. And Virgo is still in, the sun sign's still in Virgo. And we have Mercury in Virgo till the 26th, which is in your 9th house. So you have this, I cannot talk. I'm trying to articulate. We have this 3rd house, right? Pisces influence for you, transit. And then we have Mercury in the 9th house. 3rd and 9th are Gemini, Sag, which are opposites on the wheel. So this can also talk about, for me, 7th house. Also Gemini and Sag. You could be dealing with one. Where do you have that in your chart? Okay. Very spiritual time. Gemini and Sagittarius, you might have a north or south node. Again, check out that series, do a birth chart analysis with me, or I'll just look online. Are just very heavy placements of this, which is all about the student of life, the seeker of truth and knowledge and wisdom. You know, Gemini is open and curious. There's a full spectrum of color and perspective and analysis paralysis sometimes. And then we have Sag, which is that arrow of truth, and they have that trajectory and they aim for their target. Very sharp fire sign. So this fire air kind of dynamic that we're feeling into here for you. What lights you up? What stay curious? What keeps you curious? Where do you feel like you're in flow, Capricorn? What brings you back to the good old days is what I want to say. You could be like an old soul, right? Most Capricorns are. Again, your ruling planet is Saturn, for God's sake. Wise, old soul, but you could literally be like 20 years old and just feel like you've been through a lot, you know. It's what makes you so resilient, Capricorn. Don't forget that. And if you ever feel like you become too pessimistic or jaded or rigid or in denial, restricting yourself from actually staying open or curious, always remember you are a student of life. You're here to continue to grow and evolve. This is what Jupiter and Gemini is asking of you. Again, you have this Pisces influence transiting your 3rd house, Gemini, okay? So Jupiter in Gemini is square to Saturn in Pisces in this eclipse. So it's kind of like what I was saying to Aquarius is it can feel like one day we're all about it. Jupiter, Gemini, we're curious, we're open, we're creative, we're like, yes, let's do this. And then Saturn's like, no, we can't. It's too scary. Think about what could happen, you know? Like, one day you could feel really good, the next day you could feel really shitty. Let's just put it that way. It's kind of like this bipolar, a bit bipolar at times. It's like expand, contract, kind of like giving birth. Pluto, right? We're going through a birth canal. We're clearing out that karmic crap. And you know, Capricorn, you know this so very well. Again, Saturn's your ruling planet. Capricorn, let's get into it for you. We're 15 minutes in. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for listening to me. I hope that these messages are serving you. If they are, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Share it away with maybe another Capricorn you may know, or whoever this may resonate with. Capricorn. What do we have for the Capricorn collective? Capricorn, what do they need to know? Angels, guides, allies, ancestors. I'm calling in guidance for the Capricorn collective. Capricorn, what do we need to know for Capricorn? Please show me the truth. There it is. Okay, so this is the creativity oracle. And I'm going to give you about 10 seconds here. Again, this Pisces influence is all about our intuition, spirituality, especially for you with this Virgo highlight of the transit of the 9th house, Sag. 9th and 12th are probably the most spiritual, are the spiritualist houses. You know, every aspect of every house has a sense of spirituality, but these are where we really dig deep into our truth and the unknown. What do you see? What do you feel? I'm going to give you a second. Whatever comes to mind, hold on to that thought, okay? Okay, so as you hold on to that thought, I'm going to tell you what the card says, and I want you to think if there's any connection, recollection, memory that comes up for you, okay? Because there's a lot around memory. See like a memory bank. And I keep hearing like old songs kind of playing in the background, like old records. And no, I'm not going crazy. Does that make me crazy? That's a good song. Gnarls Barkley. Guess what this is about? Capricorn, communication. Weren't we just talking about this? Gemini, this is the ruler of communication. Being curious, communicating, expressing yourself, taking up space. Don't contract, expand. You know, there's a moment, there's a pause, there's the great pause this month as we feel into this kind of recharge, reflect, eclipse, portal. But there's something you need to communicate about, and it doesn't always have to be externally. It can very well be, right? Communicating with someone else, but it's also about the inner critic, which we didn't talk about. Virgo, and the link will be below for other helpful links on this, is reframing. Virgo represents the inner critic. That's the shadow side of Virgo. Is that darn inner critic telling them they're not good enough. It's not perfect enough. I can't do this. It's kind of like Saturn, you know, oh, you're doing that wrong. Go this way, not that way, you know, like tough love kind of vibe. But the Virgo, they do it to themselves. It's self-imposed. And I think Capricorn, that you can relate to that to some extent. But you might not get so caught up in the anxiety of it. But you might become pessimistic and jaded or judgmental to some extent, for sure. Especially to self and therefore to others. Because how we perceive ourselves is directly correlated with how we see the world, right? We have to remember that. It's all reflected, it's all mirrored, right? Especially with this Pisces influence, is very receptive and translucent, okay? Formless. So the clarity, interactivity, and timing of communications is critical. Taking that inner coach and turning it, or inner critic, to our inner coach. We're reframing. Again, the link is below if you want a quick, easy, efficient tool. This therapist is awesome. I found her this month, actually. It's a topic that I've known about in therapy, but it just came up for me. Of course, during Virgo season, there's a lot around this inner critic that's spiraling around in us in denial, and the Saturn and Pisces, we got to really see it. We got to communicate it. And even if that's to ourselves, at least you get clarity, right? And the timing is critical. Something around timing came up for Aquarius. Yeah, I did also see Aquarius. I did write that down here on the notes. What did I write about Aquarius that I didn't tell you? Oh, when the time is right. Yes. And then this is the timing of communication is critical. You could very well be dealing with an Aquarius or have Aquarius in your chart. Yeah, I wrote Aquarius there because they had a lot around time. Check out their general and love readings. I just did them today. Okay, let's dive in here. We're gonna pull from the Fountain Tarot. This is gonna be for Capricorn, my Capricorn viewers and cross watchers. Thank you again for being here with me in this beautiful space that we get to create together. And again, if you like this reading and you wanna go deeper with me, I do have that 10% off for September. I have like about 5 spots available still for the month. And again, I have 6-month transit readings. Those are amazing. The North and South Node reading, you know, if you check out that playlist or just find out and you want to pull cards on it to learn about maybe past life karma, that sort of thing, we can do a reading. All right, let's see. Capricorn, I'm going to keep shuffling this. I feel like I want to be so patient with you. Like it's a very slow and steady wins the race. I don't normally shuffle this deck so much, but I'm doing it. You could like the sound of that. Do you like the sound of the cards? Maybe that puts you in a meditative place. All right, Capricorn, let's tap in. Capricorn, what do they need to know? What do they need to see? My Capricorn viewers. Capricorn, please show me the truth. Hierophant, please show me the truth. Ace of Swords in reverse. You're like, you can't handle the truth. Oh my God. I love when I just get stuff. I'm not crazy, I promise. Does that make me crazy? I cannot sing today. Oh my God. My voice hasn't been this shot in a long time. The sun. 6 of Cups. I knew it was gonna come out. Pulling at my heartstrings, Cappy. I felt that. I really did. With all that nostalgic energy. Page of Swords. Oh. Yeah, I've been super emotional. This Pisces influence makes my waterworks go bonkers. It just feels like very, not, I keep wanting to say sad, but it doesn't feel sad to me. It feels bittersweet. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's just nostalgic. Like when we think about our childhood and, you know, say we're in a place where we're just like feeling the pressures of time, Saturn, you know, and we're just recollecting our memories. It's very eclipsey for you. This deep remembrance. I remember I had this message, so I didn't do it this past December, but I was doing this a while on my Instagram. You can find me on Instagram, and I post a lot of just things that I enjoy and get to know me as a person. But I posted every year, every New Year's, which I'm going to do this year again. I'm going to pick it back up. And it was 2021. It was the year of remembrance. And I put a lovely poem on there. I'm trying to remember the poem, but I can't. But I remember that year for me. It was the year of the remembrance of who I was and where I was going. And of course, if you can think back to 2021, I'm sure we all living on planet Earth were experiencing something about chaos and a bit of life turning upside down and having to sit down for a while, maybe inside, away from people, if you catch my drift. You could be thinking back to that time, or again, 2008 is another time marker here. But the sun is here, so it's not all doom and gloom. It's like, I'm thinking of better days. Ooh, what's that song? Or something, Better Days is the Beatles. Better Days, the Beatles. When your love has gone away, I've been hoping for better days. I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna link it below. Again, it's in the lyrics. It's a beautiful song. I'm just not able to sing right now and I can't remember the lyrics. But hoping for better days. You could be thinking about a distant horizon, sun, or again, reminiscing on a past love. 6 of Cups can talk about love, soulmates. Soulmates come in all shapes and forms though, right? We can have friends that are soulmates. We can have a cat or a dog that's a soulmate. You know, really, truly, at least I believe this. I actually did another post on Instagram about reincarnation, and it's, oh my God, another tear works kind of video. If you want to go cry, just check out my Instagram. But it was about this horse that came back to her, and I'm not going to go into the whole story here because we'll be here forever. But yeah, there's a lot around reincarnation. You could be remembering a past life, even with the 8 of Cups in reverse. This is reminding me of remembering what you left behind, because the 8 of Cups, Pisces, is about walking away from something that is no longer fulfilling so you can move towards self-discovery. 9 of Cups, what makes you happy, what brings joy. This is what you're trying to remember. Again, for some of you, you could be happy and you're just reflecting, or you could be in a little bit of a funk around the past. It's a bit of like a toss-up. If you look at 2 of Coins, it's a bit of a toss-up here, 2 of Coins. For some of you, yes. For some of you, no. But you're gaining clarity, and the King of Wands is here. You could be dealing with a fire sign, male or female, but there is like a lackluster, bittersweet, you know, a little bit of just somber. Because you're curious. Look at Page of Swords, Gemini. This is my Gemini card. Again, communication. Saturn transiting your 3rd house of communication, Gemini. Page of Swords, curiosity, childlike wonder, 6 of Cups. Lots around your childhood could be coming up. Good, bad, and ugly. All of you are going to be on different pages around your childhood. Maybe a mixture of all of it, and that's okay. But what is your truth? This is what you're needing to decipher. We're going to clarify this Ace of Swords here, because I feel like that's where it gets murky. because you could be feeling a lot around the past. 8 of Cups. Maybe things you walked away from that now you're like, why? Why did I do that? Why? Don't beat yourself up is what I want to tell you, Capricorn. It's okay. There's a reason why you did it. The Hierophant. Taurus. At that time in your life, if this is something you're thinking about, or this could be someone else thinking about you, okay? You would know best. The love readings below if you want to know more about love. These are self-focused for me, okay? But at that time, the Hierophant made that choice. This is a spiritually enlightened point, right? The Hierophant, wise. The shadow side of the Hierophant is being indoctrinated by societal norms, superficiality, right? Think of the Hierophant on the Fool's journey. It's when the Fool meets religion, culture, social norms. You know, and again, like I said, 6 of Cups, Page of Swords, childhood, 8 of Cups. This is very watery over here, and that you're being asked, Spirit saying, break away from the Hierophant for now. You know, you've done some spiritual work, or you're learning some spiritual lessons about the past, even if it's bittersweet. You know, maybe you felt constrained or confined or restricted from saying your truth to some extent, and now you're regaining that clarity. Like, what is my truth? The clarity, the interactivity, and timing of communications is critical. Let's clarify this 8 of Swords for Ace of Swords. I said 8 of Swords, so there could be a self-imposed, you know, you could be keeping yourself somewhere in the past, but you don't need to. Yeah, you can move forward now. Cancer is asking you to move forward. Chariot, something going to happen in July, or a Cancer is helping you move forward or guiding you. Yeah, 2 of Wands. Yeah, you're trying to move forward. You're in between worlds here. Look at that. You know, the past is right there, but you're choosing a direction, but it could feel a bit like, you know, 2 of Pentacles again. Yeah, wow, 2 of Pentacles twice. There's the 8 of Swords. I knew it was going to come out. I said it for a reason. It's like, you know that feeling when you know you have to do something. And I actually just saw a reading on this. The tarot reader, I forget her name, but she said this, that her father, maybe this is something to do with your father, any sort of easy route in life, that's not the path that we should probably be taking. Of course, we want to meet less resistance, but again, Saturn, we all know that sometimes the best choice is not going to be the easiest choice. You catch my drift? That's usually the case. Let's be honest here. Saturn in your chart, Page of Swords. Let's be honest. Let's stay open to the truth. It's not always going to be easy to wrap things up. World in reverse. Yeah, you're looking into the past very deeply. And that's exactly where you need to be. So if you thought that you were Delulu and you're like, why am I thinking about this person? Why am I going there? I should be over this. I shouldn't be thinking about that. Just relax. Just relax into it, because that's the 8 of Swords. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't be this. That's where you're going to actually create a mind effery. It's okay to be a bit crazy. Does that make me crazy? I remember Pisces season, I had the Seal song. And we're never gonna survive unless we get a little crazy. So it's okay to be a little crazy. That message came up. I'm gonna link those songs below for you. You're not crazy. You're just in Pisces energy, okay? And again, Pluto's going back into Capricorn for a little bit. It's nostalgic, it's bittersweet. Pluto is massive, like we read about in that book, right? This is no like short little coming here. This is a big cycle that's wrapping up, and it's okay to look back. That's what Pluto and Capricorn is doing right now. It's justified. Ace of Swords again. There's a self-deception here. You're not being honest with yourself about something. What is that? You would know. It could be around traditions. Again, Hierophant, legacy, money, inheritance, your 5-10-year plan. Maybe you thought you were going the right direction at one point and it misled you. 8 of Cups in reverse. Or again, this could be someone else around you. I'm seeing a lot of Gemini. 8 of Swords is Gemini. You have a ton of Gemini all over your reading. We have Libra. We have Taurus. We have all the fixed signs here, okay? Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus. and the sun, Leo. Lots of swords though, so this is a very mental place for you that's wrapped up in emotion, and you're wrapping up loose ends. Something is justified here. Signed, sealed, delivered. Maybe this is going to happen for you during the Libra eclipse, solar eclipse coming up. Justice is Libra, where you actually move forward with more confidence, and you no longer have to look back with remorse or regret. Maybe this month right now is just about being nostalgic and a bit melancholy, and just putting a good record on and listening to some vinyl, drinking a cup of tea like me, you know. Cheers, Capricorn. It's okay to be in this kind of energy right now, but if there is something that you have to communicate, because you have the Ace of Swords here twice, then maybe it's time to do that. If you really feel like you need to communicate, then don't keep hiding behind the Seven of Swords. If you feel like it's justified, then go for it. The cards are not saying not to. There could be someone coming back to talk to you. Eight of Cups in reverse as well. This could be vice versa, right? It could be an air sign that's coming back to talk to you, because Page of Swords can also be a spy, someone that's keeping a watchful eye on you. But again, these are self-focused, so you get to place the rules as you see fit, okay? But this is kind of like reminiscent. It has a reunion vibe on it, but it's not necessarily sealed yet. If any time markers I could give you would be Libra season. It could have started blossoming or blooming on investments in Cancer season. And the Seven of Pentacles is, again, you might have felt like you invested into something, or someone else did, that they don't really want to be committed to potentially. Does it bring them happiness? Does it bring you happiness? These are some questions that are coming up. It's like, yes, but there's still this kind of taste. It's like a residual kind of, I don't know how I feel about it. It's the kind of vibe I'm getting from you, where it just feels like I'm happy, but I'm also not. There's like a what's that word? Half glass empty kind of vibe. It's okay though. It doesn't feel like I should be telling you not to be. You know, I'm not gonna be like, just be happy. No, it's okay to feel this way. But reframing, I do want to tell you, it's a very good tool if you're spiraling, because I don't want you spiraling. It's okay to feel emotions. It's okay to have emotions. We're humans. Pisces, hello. I've cried like 2 times this week, 3 times. I don't cry that often, okay? But yeah, it's okay to cry, Capricorn. If you needed someone to tell you that, it's okay. If it helps you to talk to someone, just please do. Don't feel like you're alone, okay? Get a reading with me. I'll be your pal. We're gonna dive into your love reading, because this is feeling like it has a sense of this nostalgic 6 of Cups, reminiscent. Communication could be coming in from an air sign. Let's see what signs want to show up around you in love. Or this is just saying, hey, time to talk. Let's see. Love for Capricorn. Show me some signs. These could be transits. These could be planetary activations within the chart for you or them. The person most on your mind that wants to show up for Capricorn. What are some signs? Aquarius. Oh, God. Card doesn't want to come up. We talked about Aquarius, didn't we? Yeah, that could be the air sign. They could have a Venus in Aquarius. Or you could. Let's see here. Capricorn, what signs in love? Please show me the truth. Angels, guides, allies, ancestors. Please show me the truth for Capricorn. God, your cards are just being wackadoodle. Uranus, Aquarius, double Aquarius. Yeah, I did sense that you could have Aquarius in your chart or dealing with one. Jupiter is in Gemini right now. Scorpio, one more card. Could be dealing with a Scorpio. That's that Pluto influence. Lots of similar energies to Aquarius is reading. You'd be surprised if you don't know your birth chart. Look, there could be Aquarius there, or Scorpio. Capricorn, in love. Please show me the truth for Capricorn. My Capricorn viewers, show me love. Who's around them in love? What signs could they potentially be dealing with? Venus, Pluto, Neptune. Were we just talking about those two in that book over there? Yeah, this is very transformative. It's for everyone. Like, it's an eclipse month. We're in eclipse season. But for you, it does feel like, again, maybe like kind of like a dark night of the soul type of vibe. But it's a recollection. Like, I feel like there's a remembrance. You've been here before. Aquarius had a very, very similar vibe, and they're your neighbor. So there's so much to learn from your neighboring signs. That would be for you, Aquarius and Sag. Stay tuned for Sag. They're up next. But yeah, you could be dealing with, again, someone or you have these placements in your chart or transits. Again, that 6-month transit reading that I offer is awesome. You get a full 2-question tarot spread as well as detailed transit notes. We go into what's being transited for you right now over the next 6 months. And it could have to do with these planets right here, okay? Pluto, Scorpio, Neptune, Saturn, Venus, Taurus, and Libra. Scorpio again, Uranus and Aquarius are also double. We have double Scorpio and double Aquarius. So those are the strongest signatures. And also I'm getting just time markers for you. So this would be February, November, May, October coming up, okay? And also November, yeah. November and March. Lots of months there. Could have been, again, these are months that you're looking back at. You could have memories kind of popping in about people. Again, Venus in the 10th house is our achievements, where we've been, where we're going. So I see you kind of looking back at the past a bit, or someone's looking back at you. It's like driving forward in a car. I remember Leo got this message months ago where they were driving away on a journey, on a road, a long road, but they were looking back in the mirror. They weren't necessarily turning back, but they were still one eye on the mirror looking behind them. So that might resonate for you. We'll see what comes up in love. I hope to find you over there. There always seems to be some crossover, even if you're not in a relationship. So if you just want to get to know more about yourself and maybe just the past in general as like a collective kind of thing, find me for the love reading if this is where we part. Bye for now, Capricorn. Take care of yourself.